On this road trip into Arizona's Route 66, we're traveling from Oatman to Lupton. And I'll show you unforgettable places you don't want to miss along the way. This ain't a road, this is the great American road trip. Route 66 is where the past still rides shotgun. Neon signs, old motels, red rock cliffs, stories that stretch across 8 states in nearly 100 years. It's where old motels still glow, trading posts still stand, and the heart of America rolls on 1 mile at a time. And that's just the beginning, so stick around, folks. It's road trip time! Out here in Oatman, Arizona, the burros don't just cross Route 66, they run it. Locals call them burros, some folks say donkeys. Either way, these critters are part of the show. They're wild, they're stubborn, and they're just about the best roadside greeters you'll ever meet. Greeting folks from all over the world right here on America's most famous highway. Now, if you're rolling through Arizona on old historic Route 66 and feeling like taking a step back in time, you gotta stop in Oatman, Arizona. This little mountain town's hanging on like a desert legend, sitting up in the Black Mountains, where the road gets real twisty and the scenery turns downright wild. The drive into Oatman is one for the books. They call it the stretch of the Arizona Sidewinder, and for good reason. 8 miles long and 191 turns. It's full of hairpin turns, steep climbs, and just enough excitement to make you grip the wheel a little tighter. But once you make it through those switchbacks, you're rewarded with one of the most unique towns on the Mother Road. Oatman's got its start back in the gold rush days, when miners came running for riches. It was a boom town full of pickaxes, dynamite, and hopes of striking it big. The mines pulled millions in gold from these hills, and for a while, this place was hopping. But just like so many other spots along Route 66, the good times didn't last forever. When the mines shut down, folks packed on and moved on, but the burros, well, they stayed. You see, those hard-working mining burros were turned loose when the work dried up, and their descendants still wander these streets today. They're the real stars of Oatman, friendly, stubborn, and full of personality. They'll walk right up to you looking for a snack or a scratch behind the ears. Some even pose for pictures like they were on a movie set. But don't go feeding them anything you brought from the car. The town sells special burro pellets if you want a treat for them. Treat them right. They've got sensitive tummies, and the folks here do their best to keep them healthy and safe. Now, besides the burros, Oatman's got a whole lot to see. The wooden sidewalks are lined with Route 66 shops selling just about everything. T-shirts, signs, handmade crafts, quirky souvenirs, and even antiques. You'll hear wind chimes jingling, see American flags flapping in the breeze. You might even smell fry bread or a burger on the grill. Because you never know what the Oatman Hotel is serving up. They got some good food, and not to mention it's kind of fun to lunch because they got all these dollar bills hanging along the wall everywhere. Now, right in the middle of town sits the Oatman Hotel. It's one famous stop that dates back to 1902, once hoisted Clark Gable and Carol Lombard on their honeymoon. Ooh, sweet. You can go inside, grab a bite to eat, and see walls covered in signed dollar bills left by travelers from all over the world. That's a tradition around here. Slap a buck on the wall and leave your mark. If you time it right, you might catch one of the daily Wild West shootouts in the street. Don't worry, it's all part of the show. Local performers put on a little bit of cowboy theater for the crowds, complete with hats, spurs, and old-timey jokes. It's fun for the kids, and honestly, most of us grown-ups eat it up too. There ain't no other place like Route 66, quite like Oatman. It's dusty, it's historic, and it's full of heart. Between the mountain views, the friendly folks, and these free-roaming burros, you'll leave with a story to tell, and probably a few donkey selfies too. I mean, you gotta buy some feed in those stores to hand feed them donkeys. They're a friendly bunch, and they love to see you. One side note though, if you got dogs, don't bring them into the town. Dogs and the burros don't mix, just kind of a heads up. But if you're heading to Kingman or cruising west from Topak, don't you dare skip it. Slow down, roll down your windows, and take it all in. Because this here's Oatman, where Route 66 still kicks up dust. And even the donkeys kick a little bit too up in the dust. But they're pretty friendly to all you tourist type folks. And the pass walks right beside you, sometimes on 4 legs. Wait till y'all hear them braying in the middle of the day. It's hilarious. But don't forget to get your donkey pictures, because everybody's got to have a good burro. They're just fun to hang out and enjoy. And I hope you like this little part of just cruising through Oatman, Arizona. And this is number 1 so far on my top things to see in Arizona. And right here you got a cool old gas station right on the edge of town. Now, for our next surprise, you're going to love Hackberry. Now, if you're driving Route 66 through Arizona and blink too long, you might miss Hackberry. But let me tell you, that's a mighty big mistake. This little speck on the map might be quiet at first glance, but it's got more charm per square foot than just about anywhere else on the Mother Road. Hackberry is one of those places that feel like Route 66 never left. There ain't no chain stores, no neon motels, no traffic lights. Just the hum of the highway, the crunch of the gravel under your boots, and a whole bunch of history baked into the desert sun. With old gas pumps, cars, signs. It's like stepping back in the 1940s. Well, this town got its start way back as a mining camp, and named after a nearby hackberry tree that was growing right along the spring. Tree's long gone now, but the name stuck, and back then folks were pulling silver and other ore out of these hills. But once the mines dried up, like so many western towns, Hackberry slowed to a crawl. Then came Route 66, and for a while, this place got a second wind. Travelers rolled through on the way to California, gassing up, grabbing a bite, and snapping photos of the old roadsides. But when Interstate 40 came along and bypassed Hackberry in 1978, just about dropped off the map again. That is, till a man named Bob Waldmeyer showed up in the late 1980s. Now, if you know your Route 66 lore, you've heard of Bob. He was a traveling artist, a hippie soul, and one of the early champions of preserving old Route 66. Bob reopened the old Hackberry General Store and filled it with memorabilia, signs, maps, vintage gas pumps, and more. He made it a stop again. A place folks could pull over, stretch their legs, and feel the magic of the open road. Today, the Hackberry General Store is the heart of the town and one of the most photographed stops on all of Arizona's Route 66. You pull up and the first thing you'll see is a classic cars everywhere, parked out front, old cars, trucks, pickups, and around it, vintage gas pumps, rusty signs, and old soda machines from the heyday of the road. You walk inside and it's like stepping into a museum that never charged admission. Every wall, shelf, and ceiling beam is packed with Route 66 history, old license plates, postcards, maps, dusty treasures from every travel, and of course souvenirs. You'll find t-shirts, patches, magnets, and even a few things you didn't know you needed till you saw them. And the best part, the people. Every time we've stopped, I've been greeted with a smile and a good conversation. Folks behind the counter tell you that the road and the history and maybe what's going on with the highway, it's the kind of place that makes you feel like you belong, even if you're just passing through. This is the beauty and the charm of Hackberry, Arizona. See the old cars, the gas pumps, and we just kind of walk around a little bit and just feel like it's part of the history of Route 66 and part of the history of America. That's what makes it so special. Check out these old trucks here. Now these are in the back lot. You can walk back there and check them out. Amy is the owner of the store now, and they do a really great job of really just keeping the history here. You can walk around and see the old cars and trucks, and these things are the history of the Mother Road. These are what people were driving when they were coming through, whether it's from the late 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s even. I mean, this thing was active all the way until 1978 when it got bypassed, and then it pretty much became a ghost town. But I hope you enjoy looking around here a little bit and have a little fun. Check out this bad boy. Is that a cool old Model T there or what? Gotta love it. That's what's just so neat. Just looking around and experiencing America and the history of America. There's just something special about it. You know, the Route 66 was, or actually US Highway 66 as it was called originally, was established in 1926. And one cool thing about it is that next year we're actually going to have the centennial, which will be 100 years. 2026 will be the centennial of Route 66. Going to be a lot of events, a lot of things going on. So definitely remember that, and make sure that Hackberry is one of your stops when you're coming on out. It's between Kingman and Seligman, Arizona. And it's definitely a good, fun stop to check out and enjoy. Now, on to our next stop, Seligman, Arizona. You can't talk about small towns on Arizona's Route 66 without talking about Seligman, Arizona. This place right here is the birthplace of historic Route 66. And that's not just a slogan, it's history. The town was hurting in 1978 when the interstate bypassed US Highway 66. Traffic dried up, things were looking bleak, the town was dying. But a local barber named Angel Delgadillo had other plans. He rallied folks from up and down the Mother Road to keep the legends alive, and thanks to him and many others, in 1987, Seligman became the birthplace of historic Route 66. That's why so many folks still come through here today. This was the start of the nationwide revitalization of historic Route 66. Seligman is full of character, from the wild murals and old cars and trucks parked out front to shops loaded with stories, Route 66 memorabilia, and road trip relics. If you're passing through, make sure you say howdy at Route 66 Road Relics. Yep, that's my place. Come check it out. Got lots of fun stuff. So whether you're into history, classic cars, or just hunting for a milkshake, Seligman's got the soul of Route 66 still running strong. So hang with me here, and I'm going to kind of take you on a little tour through my town. Now let me give you just a little bit of history about Seligman. We were originally called Prescott Junction because that's where the train headed from here. They had a big, would go down into Prescott from here. It was renamed though to Seligman after Jesse Seligman, one of the brothers that was one of the financiers for the railroad. Now right here you're looking at the Delgadillo Snowcap. They've been around since 1953. The original owner would have been Juan Delgadillo. If you ever watch The Wish Man, you'll actually see some of him in that one. And a really cool place, old cars, old trucks, great place to get ice cream, tacos, a little bit of everything. This has got Seligman's really kind of helped create a lot of the Cars movie as far as the movies and stuff like that. Seligman was a big impact on it. Now over here, this is my place, Route 66 Road Relics. And we are both on Facebook, I think with 300,000 followers, and on YouTube with a couple thousand. Still working on our YouTube quite a bit, but we got a lot of neat stuff. And just to show you around, let you see a few of the things. This is one of the murals, got Marilyn Monroe out front. We got our 39 Chevy truck there. And just a lot of neat stuff to see. Now, I want to go ahead and I'm going to take you inside our store here. Here's one of our big Indians, hand-carved wood. We do everything from old gas and oil to gems, minerals, Route 66 rocks, Route 66 magnets, keychains. We even have a espresso. A lot of our Europeans love our espresso because it's a Swedish machine we use. We're from Sweden. This is a 62 Ford. It's our front desk. Right there's a old hood that we've got. Off old Thunderbird, we've got an old gas pump, and just a lot of fun stuff that we take a lot of pride in having kind of a variety of different things. Now as we head over next door, now this is Angel Delgadillo. He's actually, you heard us talk about him earlier, and he was actually called the guardian of Route 66. He and a group of people were responsible for getting Arizona to give a historic designation to Route 66, or the old US Highway 66. This town was bypassed in 1978, and it basically became a ghost town almost overnight. I mean, the city just died. But he was able to get with people and make that happen. Now, this is my buddy George's place over here. And this is returned to the 50s. A lot of neat stuff inside. Got some cool little cars out front. I'm just gonna walk around, just kind of check it out. Look at we got the mural over there, the old car, the old motorcycle. Just a lot of fun stuff. I mean, that's what's so neat about Seligman, is that we embrace Route 66. We're a Route 66 town. We have been from the get-go in 1926 when it was established, and we're going to be here with the centennial, which is next year, 2026. We're even in the process, actually, of working on putting a big centennial dedication in the middle of the road. So that's something that we're working on here. We already have it. We just got to get permission and from the county and get her going. There's a Ford Edsel right there. Pretty cool. A little bit of everything there. And then this right here, this is a couple of my videos this is from the Route 66 Fun Run 2025, and this started in 1988, and it is a celebration of basically getting a historic designation and the start of the revitalization of Route 66. This is a car show. This would be on Friday. Basically goes pretty crazy. There's just cars and trucks everywhere. They'll go from here, they have a parade, and then from here they're going to go ahead and head over into Kingman. And then the next day, on Sunday, they even go down to Topak and Oatman. So just a great time. And what's really unique about this is you get to actually cruise Route 66. It's not just car shows and stuff on there, but there's lots of parades, and you actually get to be active out there as far as this cruising Route 66. That's what it's all about, you know. You got to roll the window down, crank the tunes, feel the wind in your hair, and just relax and enjoy Route 66. That's what it's all about. This is seeing America. That's a pretty cool car. Got several over there. Old VW looks like. Bus. A lot of fun stuff here. And I just wanted to kind of, like I said, this show, they get almost 800 cars that come in. So they're just everywhere. In this whole town, it just becomes like a car show for for a day and a half almost. And then tomorrow morning, Angel Duggadillo will wave the checkered flag and they take off for Kingman. So it's really just a celebration of Route 66 and of the revitalization of it and remembering it and enjoying it. I mean, Route 66 is all about going out here, enjoying yourself, having a good time, relaxing, seeing part of American history. You know, people have gotten to the point where they try to fly everywhere and do all this stuff, and they miss the family road trips. You know, I don't know if you remember, but I know myself as a kid, we did road trips all the time in the family. I'd be sitting in the back of the car. Most of you probably like me going, "Are we there yet?" But there was a lot of cool stuff to see. And that's what this car show really celebrates. It's just, you know, there's a neat little Corvette right there. But Route 66, I don't know how to describe it. It's a journey, it's a destination, it's kind of a feeling all in one. I mean, you know, here's a couple guys came out of California, I believe. They got some really cool rat rods, or not rat rods, they'd be hot rods. And just awesome. Really appreciate them coming out to do the show. But this is the Route 66 Fun Run. Now next we're going to go see my buddy over here. This is John's place. It used to be the old Copper Cart restaurant. Now it's Route 66 Motorporium. He has an old VW bus here. People put stickers and sign it and everything. Got some neat old motorcycles, guys parking out front. A lot of tourists. We're probably 70% foreign tourists in this town. It gets pretty crazy when we start, you know, you'll find out that you start walking around town that a lot of people are not speaking English and stuff like that. So it's a really unusual. People don't realize that Arizona gets so many tourists from all over the country and all over the world on it, which that's one of the things that makes Route 66 so popular. I mean, honestly, like Europe and a lot of the other countries actually know Route 66 probably better than a lot of the Americans do, just because that's what they know about. And that's what that, you know, Route 66 is America to them. Got a cool fire truck here. Just, you know, these old cars and trucks are the history of the Mother Road. You can see there's just people all over taking photos. You know, some of these cars run, some of them don't, but that's not really the point. I mean, they're here to go through and bring back memories of Route 66, and it's constantly changing. I believe this is going to be a new hot dog place, Highway Hot Dogs, I think it's going to be. They're still working on it. Check this out. I got an old Coca-Cola car. Somebody did a really nice job on that. That looks really sharp. We love it when people embrace Route 66 and just make it happen. Kind of a fun old car right there. Got the eyeballs looking at you. And this is towards the end of town here. Well, kind of in the middle still. This is the end of the first part. Got a few things to look around and see while you're here. This is a hippie cricket. A lot of fun stuff outside to take a photo with, you know, and that's one of the things about Route 66. You can take photos and just really sit and enjoy it. This is one of our, they got an old car out front with a Seligman in the background. Great place for a photo. Very popular place. This is our Seligman grocery store. So you can also, if you want to pick up stuff for a lunch or whatever you want to do, or need some snacks for the road, definitely stop in there and check it out. Now finally, talking about food. These are my three favorite places. We got Westside Lilo's Cafe. They got some good desserts and that carrot cake. Oh my. Then Delgadilla's Snow Cap. They got tacos, ice cream. And then Roadkill Cafe. Oh my God, the sandwiches, the hamburgers are huge. If you're cruising east on Route 66, making your way through Seligman with the windows down, the tunes cranked, and the wind blowing through your hair, then you're in for a treat. Because you know it's road trip time. Because the next stop on the road is Williams, Arizona. And I'll tell you right now, this is not just any old town. This one's got grit, heart, and a whole lot of story left in it. They call Williams the gateway to the Grand Canyon. And that's more than just a fancy nickname. It's the launch point for the Grand Canyon Railway, a train that still runs straight from downtown Williams to the edge of one of the greatest wonders in the world. Now, I don't know about you, but to me, there's just something mighty special about boarding an old steam engine, hearing the whistle blow, and chugging up the same track folks rode more than 100 years ago. You can also do it with a diesel powered, but once a month that steam engine comes up, and it's awesome. You can feel the past under your boots in Williams. You walk down Main Street, which is still Route 66. By the way, you'll see neon signs flickering to life just like they did in the 1950s, diners with chrome stools and checkered floors, trading posts, gift shops with shelves full of everything from Route 66 stuff to turquoise to keychains, old signs, a little bit of everything. Motels that just are ready to go, nice places to stay after all these years. There's a feeling here, like you stepped into a living postcard, except for this one's not faded, and it's not behind glass. It's alive. You can walk right into it. Williams also carries another title that means a whole lot to me. It was the last town on Route 66 to be bypassed by Interstate I-40. Now that might not seem like a badge of honor to everyone, but if you know this road like I do, you know what that means. When I-40 was built, it swallowed up towns left and right. Folks stopped coming, businesses folded, dreams dried up like a puddle in July. But not Williams, no sir. Back in 1984, the people of Williams said no thanks. They fought that bypass with everything they had, lawsuits, meetings, standoffs, you name it. When it finally did happen, they didn't just fold up shop. They doubled down. They kept their motels open, kept painting signs, kept the town looking sharp. They bet on the road, and they were right. And now Williams is close to one of the most visited Route 66 towns in Arizona. You see travelers from all over the world walking that main drag, taking pictures with the signs, trying their first root beer float, or stepping into a shop where the walls are covered in license plates and vintage gas pumps. Now, if you're looking for something a little wilder, just head outside of town to Arizona and drive through Wildlife Park, where you can see wolves, mountain goats, and black bears all up close from the safety of your own car. It's part zoo, part forest, and all Arizona. Now, back in town, you might even catch a reenactment gunfight down by the depot this summer. Or you'll see cowboys walking the sidewalks and kicking wide-eyed at the sound of blank pistols and old-time western tunes. It's touristy, sure, but that's what's so fun about it. If you're lucky, you might even catch the Route 66 zip line or stumble onto a weekend car show. And let me tell you, that's something special. Every year in June, come summertime, the town of Williams turns into a rolling tribute to the golden age of that half American horsepower. It's called the Williams Historic Route 66 Car Show. And if you love chrome, tail fins, and rumbling V8s, wow, you just found heaven on four wheels. Now, this isn't just a few cars parked by the diner. We're talking hundreds of classics, everything from 30s Fords to 70s muscle cars, all lined up along Route 66 with the mountains of the background and the smell of exhaust and kettle corn in the air. You've got paint jobs so shiny you can shave in them, white wall tires tall as your knees, and more polished chrome than a jukebox convention. Some of these rides are fully restored, while others still carry the rust and the soul of the road. Let me tell you, every one of them's got a story. There's old pickups with wooden beds, hot rods with flames licking the fenders, and even a few classics that'll stop you in your tracks. And the fella standing next to it, grinning ear to ear like he just drove it straight out of prom night. That's the kind of magic that show brings. These aren't just cars and trucks, they're memories on wheels. But the best part of the show is, this isn't the engines, it's the people. Car folks are a special breed. They'll lean in and talk spark plugs, tell you about rebuilding a carburetor with nothing but grit and duct tape. Or maybe they'll tell you how that old Chevy belonged to their grandpa and now it's their pride and joy. There's stories under every hood and laughter echoing all the way down the road. Don't be surprised if you hear some doo-wop music in the background and spot a couple of fellas in greased hair and bowling shirts dancing like it was 1959. That's the kind of imagery this show brings. It's not just a display, it's a celebration of the road, the rides, and the memories we build behind the wheel. The Williams Historic Route 66 Car Show brings in folks from all over, not just Arizona, but from all across the country. Some come to show off their rides, others come to soak it all in. Either way, by the end of the day, everyone leaves with a smile and a few new dreams. So whether you're drifting in town for a day, staying the night on your way to the canyon, or just hungry for some good old-fashioned American iron, Williams delivers. It's got Route 66 in its bones, and a train to the Grand Canyon in its backyard, enough spirit to fill the tank for miles to come. Now we roll into Winslow, Arizona, and I reckon there isn't a town along Route 66 that had more folks pull over for a photo than this one. Right here on the corner of Kinsley Avenue and 2nd Street, you'll find one of the most famous spots on the whole Mother Road, Standing on the Corner Park. Now, we all know the song, or at least the line, but what's special here isn't that the verse got etched into music history. It's how a small town took one small line from a 1972 Eagles song and turned into a whole new heartbeat for their community. The corner features a bronze statue with a guitar player and a mural painted on the old JCPenney building. And if you look close, you'll spot that red flatbed Ford reflected in the mural's window. The whole thing's meant to pull you right into the lyrics without ever having to say them outright, which for copyright reasons is a mighty clever trick. But the story here isn't just about the song. It's about how Winslow came back to life after the interstate passed it by. Local folks, led by a few visionaries and business owners, pulled together and said, let's give people a reason to stop again. And buddy, it worked. Today this corner draws tourists from all over the world. You'll see folks taking photos, tapping their feet, maybe even humming a tune. Just down the street is a life-size bronze of Glenn Fry, added in 2016 as a tribute after he passed away. There's also a custom street sign that reads Glenfry Drive. It's little touches like that, honoring the music and the man, that keep this place feeling special. Now, if you swing around behind the corner, you'll spot a few more photo ops, an old truck, vintage sign, and that sweet little souvenir shop that's always got something playing on the radio. The Spirits is here, welcoming and proud, the kind of place where even if you don't know the lyrics, you feel like you're a part of the chorus. But Winslow isn't just the corner. It's got layers of Route 66 history into its bricks. Keep driving down 2nd Street and you'll pass La Posada Hotel, one of the last great Harvey houses, beautifully restored. This place was designed by Mary Coulter, the same architect behind buildings at the Grand Canyon. Walk inside and you're stepping back into the golden age of rail travel. The Santa Fe Railway used to bring passengers from all over the country. Some stayed a night, some stayed forever. Figuratively. And this is the inside, just beautiful. You also have the turquoise room, which is just amazing food in there too. Now, out towards the edge of town, there's a classic restored Texaco station and a few spots with old trucks and retro signs that make a perfect photo stop. You might even find a trading post or two still hanging on with homemade crafts and Navajo goods. And if you're paying attention, you might get a close-up of a rock shop that's the kind of place that once sold arrowheads, fossils, and a dream of the West. It's a reminder of the Rose Quieter days and the people who made their living one car at a time. Winslow still got Mother Road magic, the kind that makes you slow down, take a breath, maybe hum a little tune about a girl, a truck, and a corner that's now known around the world. Now, welcome to Holbrook, Arizona, and Colonel Mustard's Hot Dogs is one of the new places in town. Great place to go grab you a hot dog, so check it out. And then now we've got one of the dinosaur rock shops in town. It's kind of fun to pull huge dinosaurs. And now we're just going to take a little drive. We're just driving downtown. We're going to be heading towards the Wigwam Motel. There's the Roxy Theater. And just kind of let you take a look and experience just a drive on Route 66. We're just going to kind of cruise Route 66 for a few minutes here. And you can see in the distance up there, that is the Wigwam Motel. You'll see all the teepees. Now, if you've ever seen a postcard from Route 66, there's a good chance it has this place on it, the Wigwam Motel in Holbrook, Arizona. Or maybe you spotted an old movie, or even in the cars, that Pixar film that borrowed a whole lot of the Mother Road magic. We're cruising up to it now, and let me tell you, seeing those white concrete teepees lined up along old Route 66 never gets old. It feels like stepping back into a time capsule. There are 15 of these wigwams here, each one a freestanding motel room. They look like something out of the roadside fever dream, and that's the whole point. See, back in the 1930s, 1940s, the American highway was a canvas for imagination. Folks didn't just want a place to sleep. They wanted something different, something fun, and that's what the Wigwam Motels delivered. This location in Holbrook was part of a small motel chain called Wigwam Villages. There were 7 of them total, stretching from Kentucky to California. The man behind the idea was Frank Redford, who built the very first one in Horse Cave, Kentucky in 1933. He had a fascination with Native American culture, though these structures are more roadside quiche than any kind of real tribal design. The Holbrook Motel, officially Wigwam number 6, was built in 1950 by a man named Chester E. Lewis, who had seen one of the earlier villages while traveling and fell in love with the concept. He made a deal to license design from Redford, complete with those iconic round windows and the signature layout. Each wigwam here is made of concrete and steel, standing 28 feet tall. They're arranged in a half circle like a little village. Out front, you'll see classic cars parked beside them, not for rent, but for ambience. The old cars are just part of the history of Route 66. They give you that throwback feeling like you're on a 1950s road trip with your family, station wagon pulling in off the highway to catch some Z's before the next leg west. We're rolling past the front office now and the small buildings at the edge of the lot. Inside you'll find all sorts of memorabilia from golden days of Route 66, vintage postcards, old signs, and a whole lot of stories. Chester Lewis ran this place for years. After he passed away, his children kept it going, and now it's run by his daughter and grandson. It's still family owned, and that makes a big difference. They've kept the vibe authentic, not fancy, not overdone, just like it was meant to be. If you ever had a chance to stay the night here, the rooms are small but cozy. Inside each wigwam there's a bed, a little table, and chairs, and a bathroom with a retro tile shower. No high-end frills, but you don't come here for luxury, you come here for the experience. And there's something special about closing the door and knowing you're sleeping in a piece of American road trip history. Now, back outside, you can almost imagine the neon glowing in the twilight. It still lights up the night, the famous "Have you slept in a wigwam lately?" sign buzzing under the Arizona stars. It's daylight now, but we're still just looking around, letting you see everything. Check out that petrified wood over there. Pretty cool. Places like this remind us why Route 66 matters. It's not just about the miles, it's about the memories. About motels that dared to be different. About business owners who believed in something quirky and travelers who were willing to give it a try. The Wigwam Motel ain't just a place to stay, it's living history. A slice of Americana you can still touch, still sleep in, and still smile about decades later. As we roll from New Mexico into Arizona, the red rocks start rising around us like a natural monument. And just like that, we've crossed the border into Lupton, Arizona. It's the first town you hit on Route 66 in Arizona. It still feels like the Wild West out there. Right off the bat, you'll spot the landmark's been welcoming travelers for generations. Chief Yellow Horse Trading Post, built right up against the cliffside. The Yellow Horse family's been running this spot for decades, and you'll find exactly what you expect from a classic Arizona roadside stop: Indian jewelry, souvenirs, and friendly folks behind the counter. Out front, you'll see weathered flags flapping in the breeze, that bright red cliff standing guard like it's been there for 1,000 years. And the old wooden fort out front with towers that makes it look like something out of a cowboy movie. That fort is part of the trading post, not just decoration, but a part of the family-run charm that keeps this place going since the heyday of Route 66, or U.S. Highway 66. And just further down, there's a giant wooden teepee. And when I say giant, I mean one of the biggest ones you'll see along the Mother Road. It's not part of anything else, just a standalone shop, open and welcoming. Another piece of Route 66 charm that folks can't help but stop for. You're driving down, look at the red rock background. You can see as we drive up onto the teepee, the Indian arts and crafts. This thing is huge, probably 30 foot tall or more. It's just really cool to check out. The teepee trading post. Nice. There's also several murals that I found there that you can take photos and stuff of. See the backdrop here, the red rocks of the trading post. And you'll also come, if you're looking around and thinking you've seen a yellow horse, well, you have. On the other side of town, businesses, the Yellow Horse Trading Post with a big yellow horse statue right on top of the roof. Up there like it's been standing watch for travelers for years. It's being a favorite photo stop for folks cruising the route. Here it comes. Now as we keep moving through Lupton, you'll notice the town's got a little bit of everything. The old, the new, the open, closed, the past, present, all in one stretch of the highway. About the middle of town, you'll pass the remains of an old trading post. It's been shut down for some time, paint peeling, windows dark, signs weathered by the years of wind and sun. But it still stands tall, and it's got the quiet dignity to it. One of those places that reminds you the road's seen a lot of stories, and not all of them are still being told. And a little further west, under the overpass, and just beyond it, you'll spot a closed down gas station sitting empty along the shoulder. The kind of place you can imagine once kids pumping gas out front, coolers full of soda and road maps on the counter. It's quiet now, but it's not forgotten. That's the thing about Lupton. It may look like a sleepy border town, but there's still a lot happening here. The shops are open, the teepees standing, the flags are flying, and the red rock cliffs haven't gone anywhere. This isn't a ghost town, this is a survivor, a stretch of Route 66 that still has gas left in the tank. You get the sense as you drive through that this place still matters. Folks are still showing up, still buying souvenirs, still making memories, and the backdrop, well, that's worth a stop all by itself. The cliff rises high and proud, glowing red in the late sun. You can't paint it better than this. So if you're traveling the Mother Road and you're about to cross into Arizona, slow down when you see the red rock, pull over to the fort, step inside the teepee, snap a picture with the yellow horse, and know that you're standing in one of the most scenic, overlooked corners of the entire route. Because Lupton may be small and parts of it may be quiet, but it's still here and still worth every mile to get there.
It's road trip time!